Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third day of our 5 days data science bootcamp. Let me know, guys, if I'm audible. Yes, no, maybe. Guys, if I'm audible. Yes, no. Okay, fine, fine. Great, great. Okay. All right. So, again, welcome everyone of our third day of 5 day data science bootcamp. My name is Dhananjay, your host for the next 3 days. And I hope, first of all, I hope you found yesterday's session with Shambhavi on the topic SQL and Tableau informative and engaging, right? And Coding Ninja is excited to help you learn and grow for the next 3 days. You can say that. And I think people are joining in still. Okay, I think Archit is already here. Let me add him. Just give me a moment. All right,
Hi
Archit.
guys,
Hey, Archit.
hi
How are you
Dhananjay.
doing, Archit? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I am also doing great, Archit. So, guys, we are having an amazing guest speaker, Archit Mittal. He is a quantitative analyst at Tara Capital today, and today he will be leading two live projects on machine learning. So, Archit, if you could please give a brief introduction of yourself to every data scientist and machine enthusiast over here.
Sure. So I'm a 2021 graduate from AKGC Ghaziabad. So I have joined because of my interest in finance. I have joined this hedge fund where my major task, day-to-day task include researching on the stock markets via techniques like machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence to give an edge to our traders so that they can trade more strategies and they can take out profits from the markets. So I'm currently more involved in this data science journey only. I hope I can like the projects which we are covering today. I hope I'll be like impacting you the knowledge.
All right, Archit. I think there was some network issue from your side also, Archit. If you could check a little bit. Okay, it's fine, fine, fine. All right, Archit. Thank you for such an impressive intro. And so let's get started, guys. Archit, the stage is all yours. You can start presenting and start with the project's work.
Thank you. Can you please let the yeah okay. So hi everyone. I hope I am audible. I am clear. Can you just write something on the chat? Yes, no, something. Am I audible, Dhananjay? If you can hear me.
Archit, you're audible. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I have given my introduction. I just want a quick introduction of all of you. If you can just type first year, second year, third year, fourth year, who all guys are here, what are the qualifications, so that we can schedule the session accordingly. We'll be having those two live projects, and we'll be covering most of the parts of those projects in this session. So come on, just in the chat, first year, second year. Okay, we have first year guys. So the content will be a bit heavy. You have to 2021 pass out. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, BCA fifth sem. Okay, that's great. That's great. We have a whole latitude of audience here. So let's begin. So let's see like what is the flow of the session. If I can like yeah. So the flow of session will be something like this, that we'll be doing the case study on the Twitter data, and then we'll be like seeing how the movie recommendation systems work. I'll be assigning you some take home assignments also, so that you can practice this thing out, because without practice it is very difficult to move forward with machine learning. We'll be talking a bit about the future of this AI and the machine learning things, and then we'll be followed by a Q&A session. I guess there is a bit of a lag in the session. So I just want you all guys to be very active on the comment box so that I can help you out. So first of all, some basic requirements which I want from you guys, that you should have a Jupyter notebook. You can have any online Jupyter notebook also, or you can like just download it till the time we are covering the theoretical aspect. I'm sharing these two things. Can I, Dhananjay, can I share these two links directly with these guys somehow?
Yes, yeah. In the just share it with me in the private chat section. I will share it here.
Okay, just a second. Um, so it Yeah. So I just request you all to download these two links so that you will have the data sets, and can we use Google Colab? Yeah, you can use Google Colab also. I have some things done on the Jupyter notebook. So if you feel there is any problem, if there are any errors you are facing, you can just tell me. We can discuss that, and we can move ahead with that. We can resolve the problems on the go. So let's start with the first project, which we have for the first case study, which we are doing today, the sentiment analysis using Twitter data. So all of you guys have read about this Twitter data thing? Yes or no? Do you know what is Twitter like? What is sentiment analysis in this Twitter data? Do you guys have any idea? Anyone? If you can write some things in the chat. I guess there is a lag. Okay, we can get okay. So Twitter is basically a micro blogging platform. What is a micro blogging platform? Any one of you, what you can do is that you can write small news, small comments in that platform. It's like a Instagram where there is no photos, only captions, whatever you want to like. Yes, we have one user who is saying sentiments means emotions, exactly. So basically we are trying to capture the emotions in the emotions from the Twitter data. So we'll be doing two things from this project today. So we'll be combining two things. The first thing which we'll be doing is like we'll be seeing with a word cloud that what are the kind of sentiments which are there in the data, where the data set which I have provided to you. We'll be also seeing that how we can connect real time data from Twitter and apply it to our codes. Third thing is like what we are doing, we'll be predicting that if for some days we have certain amount of data, for the other days what kind of emotions are expected out of that data. So these are the types of things which we can do with machine learning, and we'll be like seeing it today live. So sentiment related to computer science, it's not exactly to computer science, it's basically human emotions only. So we have the keywords from the English language. Like if you are saying that I like to read this book, this is a positive sentiment. I am not very sure about if I am going to the party tomorrow. This is a mixed feeling sentiment. Then we have I hate this thing. This is a negative sentiment. So these are the sentiments which we are parameterized. So we'll be discussing about some few of the parameters as we have first year guys also. So we'll not be making that much complicated, and we'll be not be making that much easy also. Just the right framework so that you can also go and practice it for yourself. Thank you. So moving ahead, first, just we try to understand some basics of machine learning, so that you will be having that edge. You will be having that thing in your mind how to intuitively think of a machine learning project. So we'll be discussing some of those things, some of the very important things when you are making a machine learning project in any company, in any industry, in any project. You will be very much seeing these type of words whenever you are starting or ending a project or delivering a project to a firm. It will be also helping you as a freelance work also. Chalo, moving ahead. So first is like these are the very famous terms. Raw data cleaning up, that's right, Omar. So the first three things which we are seeing here is the supervised learning, the unsupervised learning, and the reinforcement learning. So these three are the major things when we start machine learning projects. So what are these things? Anyone knows here in the comment section? Just one word for each of the things: supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement. You are seeing here, if you can understand from something, uh, supervised is basically, sir, related to learning for machine. Everything is related to learning for machine, Hadi. So anything, any ideas? You can see the screen also. You have the PPT available. If you can understand something from this. Okay. Chalo. Let me explain this. Label data. Yeah, something like this, but for better understanding, for a common man understanding, as we have like first year guys, second year guys also here. So just a layman term. These are all things which you will be studying, the theory you will be studying everywhere. But the main thing, like how to intuitively think of these things, I'll be telling you that. So when we are talking about a supervised learning, it means that you are giving your model, you are giving your script, you are giving your machine learning black box. Machine learning is known as a black box thing. Ek dabba hai, it is a black box. You are providing him data and it is outputting the data out of this. So this is the basic intuitive thinking of machine learning. So first one is supervised learning. What is supervised learning? You are feeding, you have 100 data points, so you are feeding 80 data points to this machine. This machine is doing some things of its own and outputting some results for this 80 machines. Then this machine is comparing that these output generated by the machine is similar to that 80 which is provided to them. If it is not, it is trying to make a fit that this input equals to that output. It is basically drawing a linear equation line, a polynomial line, which if you have heard about it. So what this machine is doing, that it is taking this 80 data points, try to make a graph out of it, and then when we provide the 20 input data points, that extra 20 data points, then we are expected to receive great results similar to the actual results. So when we feed the data to the machine, it is known as a supervised learning. I hope you get this thing. Greeting output of unseen. Yeah, means we already give all the data to the machine, but we don't give all the data. We give 80%, 90%, 95% of the data, and we expect the machine to predict the 5%, 10%, or 15% of the data. So we are providing the data in advance. It is known as the in sample data, and we want the machine to give us the out sample data, whatever the data, the outputs are not given to it. So when we are training the machine like this, it is known as a supervised learning. Second is unsupervised learning. Now can you guess? Yeah, someone has guessed. Unsupervised, model not provided, must find a pattern or relationship in inputs by. Exactly. So supervised learning, we have like examples of supervised learning are classification and regression. How to think all these things? Classification is that, yeah, let's assume this thing, that you are thrown, let's say 10 items to you. Some are chocolates, some are ice creams, some are biscuits, some are something, and some are something. So what you are doing is you are classifying, this is a biscuit, this is a chocolate, this is this probably what you can say, an ice cream, something like this. Link can't be downloaded. Can you see that the link is like both links are working quite fine? Second link can't open. Can you check, Dhananjay? I guess, have you sent the full link? I'm not very sure. Okay. So carrying on to that. So the first classification is something like this. The machine is first identify, oh, this is known as a chocolate. Oh, this is known as a ice cream. So it is classifying in that manner. On the other hand, supervised learning is that it is not given any input or outputs. What it does is it cluster most of the things. So taking the similar example of a classification only, classification is like this or that. It is a chocolate or not a chocolate. On the other hand, clustering, which is a very famous example of unsupervised learning. What does this do? It will segregate on itself. This is a square shape, and these are the square patterns which I'm constantly getting. Let's say this is A. I am getting a circle thing. Let's say this is B. So it is clustering on the basis of the nature, the attributes of the data which are getting to that. Okay, are you understanding this thing? What is unsupervised learning? The difference between supervised or unsupervised? Yes or no? This is a just quick theoretical part. We'll be moving towards the main thing after this. So I just want you guys to understand these things first. Do you understand this thing? Yes or no? Any chat? Can you write it in the chat? Okay, perfect. Now, what is reinforcement learning? The best example of a reinforcement learning is a baby child. Have you seen a small child when it grows up? How does he grow? Like first he's like, if there is fire, the child doesn't know that the fire hurts or not. So what he do, he just put his hand in the fire. So he thinks that now, oh, it is paining, it is burning. Then he will never repeat that mistake. So what kind of learning is this? This is exactly the reinforcement kind of learning, where the model is trying to do some things. We are trying to code that if you do this thing, you will be getting a negative reward. You will be penalized by giving a -1, -2, -50, some these kinds of number. And if you are doing the right thing, I am giving you rewards by doing 1, 2, 5, 10 positive numbers. For a small child, what is happening, that if he is getting good marks in his school, he's getting motorcycle, he's getting a cycle, he's getting chocolates, he's getting a lot of love from his parents. But when he's not getting good marks in school, what is happening, the parents are scolding him. So this is a reinforcement type of learning pattern which a child see. So I hope these things are clear. Just one sec. Yeah, moving on, moving ahead. Now the second important thing, the most important thing which you will be hearing about, hearing in this machine learning algorithms, is the problem of underfitting and overfitting. Anyone knows that what is underfitting or overfitting? Can anyone explain this? So moving back to a supervised learning model, do you remember that we have provided a data, black box data, a machine learning model, 80 inputs first, and then we are expecting it to give us 20 outputs. But what happens is that the model is not giving correct outputs. So what we did is we gave him 90 inputs now, 90 input output combinations we give to the machine learning model. Now what is happening? It is giving slightly better results. Now we are giving 99 inputs in the model, and the model has to predict only one data point, and the model is predicting it quite well. Can we say it is a good model? If we are providing, if we have a 100 point data set and we are providing 99 values to it, and we are just expecting one value to be outputted from it, and it is correct, can we say the model is good? Or if the model is not predicting the right answer, can we say that the model is bad? So one of the student is saying, when model is too complex, it's overfitting. It's not basically about complexity of the model. It's basically about how much data we are feeding to the model. If we are feeding more than enough data, then it's like the model doesn't have anything to predict. The predictions are random, maybe correct, maybe not. We can't tell anything. But if we are providing some information, if we are giving very less data to the model, if we are just giving 50 data points and telling the model, just give me the prediction of the next 50, if we are giving 20 data points, it is known as underfitting. We are providing the model very less inputs to form a learning pattern, to recognize a pattern in the data. So that is one of the things. So एक second. Okay, so moving ahead, just let me close the notifications here. Yeah. Okay, so I guess overfitting model gets bias. Yes, exactly. So she is saying the correct thing. When we are overfitting the data, the model is having a biasness, because we are telling everything to the model that this is the thing. Now just predict. And underfitting is like we have a lot of variance in the model. So these are two more concepts in machine learning: bias and variances. So I just like advise you to study these 2 points, so that you will be getting more idea about this overfitting and underfitting. This is just a broad sample out thing, that how you think about all these things. Overfitting performs well on input but very bad on output. No, it's not the case that it performs very bad on output. It is just that thing that when you are seeing the output, you can't confidently say that your model is good or bad, because it can give you the right answers, but the data size, the output data size is so small that it is very difficult to say that the model is predicting the correct thing or not. I think you said the opposite. No, I'm overfitting is high variance and low bias. Yeah, okay, so overfitting is like, I know, Adarsh, please check. I guess overfitting is a high bias. I have to check that thing, because the thing is that we are giving it a lot of example, lot of the things. So it will be containing a lot of bias in the model. Moving ahead, these are the two concepts, the bias and the variance concept. You need to understand this. I'm giving you a broad perspective of the things, how to see the models when we are dealing with it. So explain clearly underfitting and overfitting. Niranjan, can you I have been explaining this for like 5 minutes. Let's take it ahead in the Q&A section. Please write it down. I'll be clearing this doubt out. Now moving ahead to the theoretical, because I want to move towards a more practical part currently, so that you will be having a hands-on experience. So moving ahead, now the question is why we are using Python, and what is the concept of vectorization. Do you know here, any one of you, what is vectorization? I guess the lecture which was scheduled today, you had that thing today, the vectorization model. Any one of you here knows what is vectorization? Okay. Do you know why we are using Python? Why Python for machine learning models? Why not any other language? We have C++, we have JavaScripts, we have so many new language. We have R language also, which is so good. We have so many things. Actually, what happened is that Python, yeah, one of the right things she said, that Python gave us a lot of advanced libraries, so it becomes very easy for us to use the Python concept. So we, when we'll be discussing that how we are designing a machine learning model, by that six or seven step framework which I'll be giving you in the in ahead of the slides, you will be getting, like, you can solve any machine learning problem. You can give anything to your customers, as a freelance client, to your clients, or your basically companies wherever you are working. So the six step framework becomes very very easy when you are doing it with Python libraries. You don't have to worry to do this separately out in other languages. In other languages you have to code a lot for these things. In machine learning, in Python, you have advanced machine learning libraries because the community is so big for Python. So vectorization is working on set of values in parallel. Yeah, something like this, Adarsh. Okay. Tomorrow, I guess. Just one second. Am I audible? Yeah. MI is not anything. ML, it is ML, machine learning libraries. Okay. So when you are seeing this, like in your tomorrow's lecture, I highly recommend you to read this thing about data frames very carefully. Data frames are basically pandas. So the pandas PD, which you will be reading, the pandas library, it is the most powerful library and it helps you a lot in saving a lot of time. So I just want to ask one thing to all of you guys, that if you are given, let's say, two values in a vector, in a list, and every list element has two values, let's say one or two, 1 2 3 4 5 6. We have pairs like this. What is ML? Machine learning. ML is machine learning. So if you have pairs in the list, let's say 10 pairs in the list, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, something like this. There are a lot of pairs in the list. So if I tell you that add the first element of each pair from this list and add the second element of this pair for this entire list, let's say the length of the list is 5000. So how you are going to do that? Can anyone tell me? Can you get the question? Do you get the question, guys? You have a list, a 5000 element list. Each element is having two values, and you have to sum all the first values and all the second values. How you are going to do it? Looping. Yeah, okay, that's one great answer. Anything else? The question is, you are given a list of 5000 elements. Each element is having two values, 1 2 3 4, something like this, and you have to calculate sum of all the first element and all the second elements. Okay, so you all are saying loop. Exactly. So what is, why loops? Because that's the most obvious and intuitive way which we can find, right? That we are using a loop. But can you tell me, like, what is the time complexity taken by loop? Just a rough idea. I'm not going into the data structure algorithm part, but if you are using a loop or a dictionary or anything like that, what is the time complexity? Convert each variables into vectors. That's a nice solution, Arpit. Order of n. That's good. That's great, Sheshti. So it's like you have to travel the loop 5000 times. And when we are like dealing with machine learning kind of data, we are talking about data in GBs or MBs. The data set which I sent you, It is a 160K data set first, and the second data set is a 1 lakh lines. So if you are doing order of n in that case, it becomes very difficult for you to again and again and again iterate on that and do calculations on that. So for those manipulations, the best thing which you can use in the market is pandas. The pandas library, the data frames in the pandas library, you can convert everything to data frame, and boom, it's like it will take 1/10 of whatever the time previously it was taking using loop, using a dictionary, or using any other data structure. That's how powerful vectorization is. And that's why we are preferring most of the time Python, because I am like, in my daily work life, I used to deal with 1 terabyte of data. And that terabyte of data, when I store it in a particular format, in a binary format, and when I tell Python to just read it, perform operations on it, you won't believe that when I was using a for loop for that data, it was taking 3 days to just loop over that data and use that data. And when I switched to pandas data frame, it took less than half an hour. That's how fast the things become. So that's like one of the most exciting part. We'll be learning a lot of things about the data frames in this lecture. In your next lecture also you will be learning, and in a project also you will be seeing a lot of the time we are using very simple pandas data frame. So let's brace for the impact. Okay, kuch to okay. So can you tell me that any one of you panda iter function, no, panda iter function will be like using the for loop only. Whoever it is, Guffy, I guess. Pandas iter function will work exactly as a for loop. It is not pandas iter function. It's just simply functions, normal functions. You will be seeing all those functions in the code itself, and it will be like just an English word. And whatever you want to do, it's boom. Data frame are two-dimensional. Exactly, it is like a Excel sheet. What you can imagine as a data frame, how you will be like dealing with a data frame, you will be dealing the data frame exactly like an Excel sheet. How fast the Excel sheets are. Pandas is similar to functions. uh Not very much similar, but yeah. Okay, so somewhat similar to functions. That's one of the things. So how many of you guys here like polars are faster than pandas? Yeah, polars are the new libraries which Python has introduced, but currently like pandas are well tested platforms, and polars are available on the new versions. That's why we are using pandas. Okay, how many of you now here knows APIs? What is an API? Any one of you who don't know what is an API? Can data frame be in a 3D? Yeah, it can be in a 3D structure. Data frames can be multidimensional. Okay, so do you know what is an API? How many of you guys know what is an API? API is equals to middleman. That's a good statement. I don't know application programming. I'm not asking the full form. It's like what the first intuition, what's the first thought when you listen the word API comes to your mind? The one thing which I guess someone has also mentioned, this waiter in hotel. Yeah, exactly. My intuition is this only, waiter in a hotel, middleman, something like this. So what is an API? API is like, if you web API, yeah, there are certain types of API. So let's understand what is an API. So if you want to get data from one source and you want to analyze that data to other source, because you are writing a Python code, you will be like analyzing the data on this path. See my hand, and you are getting the data from this hand. So these two are completely independent identities. How you are connecting it, these two identities can be connected with via APIs. The middleman, it's like the most intuitive thinking is when you go to a hotel. So I guess I know many of you like know this thing. When you go to a hotel and you order the chef to bring you, let's say anything, whatever your favorite dish is. So your chef is one entity, you are one entity. He is preparing the food, you are eating the food. So to deliver from chef to you, there is a waiter in the hotel. That exactly is the work of an API. So you can argue with me like why we use an API. Why can't I just go to the chef and take the food myself? Why I can't do that? Or why we actually need something like this concept? Can anyone tell me? It is not a concept. I know, like most of the guys who are here, who want to learn only data science and machine learning part, they will be like, sir, हमारे को API basically it is used in a front end or a back end. We have heard all these things around that, web development or something like that. APIs यहाँ पे कैसे आ गई? Why we are using APIs here? Can you tell me what is the use of API when you are dealing with a data science kind of model? To make loosely coupled, yeah, that is one of the biggest advantage. First index sum equals to, yeah, Tarun, I understand you. It's like these things, numpy, pandas, these both come in the vectorization field only. I just want to emphasize on the data frame part, how you can do it on multi-frame data. So that's why I told about data frame. Yeah, you can use it, use numpy also. My solution is right. Yeah, your solution is right. Request and responses, one beta can serve many at a time. Simplify, because normal human does not understand our algorithm or else. No, basically APIs are used because let's say you are using a platform like Twitter or Instagram. They don't want to expose everything to you. In a hotel, when a chef is like, where the chef is cooking the food in the kitchen, the chef don't want you to go don't want each and every person to just go in the kitchen, come out of the kitchen and see what is happening inside that kitchen. He doesn't want to share his ingredients. He doesn't want to show that what he's cooking, what are his recipes. He doesn't want to get that thing out of that kitchen. He just want that, you want your food, I will deliver your food. You don't have to see what is cooking, how I am cooking it, what is the recipe of this food. He is very protective about that nature. Exactly like that, all the websites which you see on the internet, they are very protective about all the data which they contain. So they don't want you to access each and everything from their website. So what they do is they just provide you with some uh, normal things, like they will give you just one link that, see, you can just access this part. If you want to download your data, just go click with this API and boom, you can access these things in this API. All the other things are non-accessible. Krishna Kumar is saying my answer is right. I have not seen your answer, I guess. Security purposes, yeah, your answer is right. For the connection, yes, a basic knowledge of API. Okay, so abstraction, yeah, exactly. So one of the things are abstraction. They want to provide the abstraction kind of thing, so we use the API. So now first thing is like, I have one code to let you see, because I didn't get the developer access. Yeah, I was not able to get the developer access from the Twitter API, like I requested them 2 times. So I'll show you like how to get that developer access. We'll be going through that process, and whenever like you want to uh, integrate this thing in your code, you can just do it on your own. So I'll be sharing that screen. Just give me one sec. Let's share the entire screen. Can you see the screen? um Not very sure. Dhananjay, are you there? Can you share this second screen? Yeah. So see, so this is like developers agreement. I'll be okay. So this is like the developer.twitter.com. This is the developer portal. And when you'll be like here, you you have to log in into this portal, and using that, what I just clicked. Yeah, you have to go to the developer portal, and you have to fill all your details, whatever this is, like, yeah, use case student or something like this. No, sign me up. Let's do this. So I have like this agreement. I have my number not registered, and it was telling me accept. Submit. Yeah, so I don't have a verified phone number. Somehow, like, I guess somebody else is using my phone number currently. So you can just do this as a submit button, and then you will be getting some of the API methods. Let me show you the code also for this thing. uh, okay, so where is my code? Yeah, there are a lot of tabs open, that's why, like, I guess there will be some lags. So yeah, so there is a module in Python known as TUIPy, and when you go to that developer portal in the Twitter thing, you will be getting a consumer key, a consumer secret key, an access token, and access token secret key. What you have to do is you have to just replace this, type your consumer key here, type your this thing here with your particular key, and then your API is ready to go and give you the standard data, whatever the data you are getting from the from Twitter. So we'll be getting back to this code. I guess we won't be like, oh my god, where it is. I have to check. Just 1 second. I'm not very sure like where. Um, I have to, I guess, relog in this thing. My screen, I guess it's gone. Just 1 sec.
Archit, you are already here.
I know I'm not able to find that tab. That tab got miss. Can you just drop me from there? I'll rejoin. Yeah, yeah. I guess StreamYard. It should be here, right?
So you have already joined. Why are you joining it again, like Archit?
I guess like I am not able to find that tab.
Which particular tab you type talking about? Like,
Where the screen should be there, the StreamYard tab.
wait a
I have to
second.
open that. I guess.
So this one is the slide tab you're talking about. This particular thing.
Yeah, yeah. Can you just like do this? Can you re-enter me and just drop me from there?
Just give me a moment, guys. I have added you.
You have to drop me from. Okay.
Archit, you are added.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, for this thing. There is a technical glitch. So I guess I have shown you that API thing. So now we have to go to, just
You
give
can
me one.
start share your screen like Archit.
Uh, Pardon? Yeah.
If you
I'm
can.
sharing my screen. Yeah, just one second. It's a bonus sound for us. Okay. Where can we find the link to the dataset? I have provided the link to the dataset. You can find it like in the above chat, or maybe Dhananjay will reshare that link with you. Okay, I have that slide here. Okay, so we were talking about APIs. So yeah, so for the APIs thing, I have shown you like how you can develop that on the Twitter, directly on Twitter, the developer account. You will be getting your consumer ID and all your code, and then you will be like just inserting that code into the into our Jupyter notebook or Google Colab, whatever you are using. Um, Now moving ahead, dataset, you have shared. Dhananjay have shared the dataset again. Kindly download this thing. Now we know how to get authenticated. Moving ahead, how to approach any machine learning project. That is like one of the things. So these are the 6 step there, which you will be like for any type of machine learning project. There are mainly 3 types of machine learning project which are there. One is an analytical system, one is a recommendation system, and one is a prediction system. If you know this, am I audible, guys? I'm not seeing any comments now. So can you write something on the comment section? In the comment section, we'll be discussing this, like these are, I know that these, some of these may seem basic, but it's like these are the best things which you can do for segregating out each and every step. Okay, now I get all the responses. Okay, to segregate each and every step, and when you are working for a company also, so these will be helping you a lot, because each and every step will be like, if you are stuck on any step, what you can do is you can just go to your manager or your senior with regarding this particular step. So this will save your time also as a working professional, and their time also, that sir, I'm engaged in this type of step. Developer account link. So you can just all those guys who know want the developer account link, you just type developer Twitter API, and you will be getting the developer link, the first Google link, you will be getting that. Moving ahead, so let's discuss what these 6 steps are. First of all, the thing is data collection. So in our Twitter model, we have 2 sources of data collection. First, real-time data from Twitter itself. Second, you can have a data set, the data set link, which is shared by the Coding Ninjas team. You can see that, you can download that data set. It's around 200 MB data set. So what you have to do is, first you have to figure out where your data is coming. Then what you have to do, you have to clean out your data. If there is any NaN values, or maybe there are values which are very much separated out, which are not that much consistent. So second step of yours will be data cleaning. Completely clean out your data. Third is like visualizing the data, that whatever you have cleaned, is it making any sense or not? Maybe if it is written gender, and you are writing let's say anything like 46. So what does this mean? This doesn't make any sense. So your data should make some kind of sense. And then moving ahead, removing outliers. Yeah, removing outliers is in the data cleaning step, Devanshu. So outliers will be removed in the data cleaning. And I don't think that when you are working for any firm which really require, which are data heavy, they don't want you to remove the outliers. They just want that base theorem graph, the what you can say, the Bayesian curve, the bell curve. They just want that bell curve, so that the outliers are on these sidelines, and you can monitor them, but your main focus should be on the middle part. Clearing data is equals to delete unwanted data. It's not about unwanted data, it's basically separating the data in a manner so that everything is consistent. Making the data consistent is more of the thing rather than deleting the data. Data set is 85 MB now. So yeah, data set is 85 MB. It's a zip file. When you open the zip file, it will be around 200 MB. checking its features and values. Yeah. So data visualization is feature checking. Then what we have to do is, these are the three things of the data thing. In data cleaning, do we have to remove duplicates? Yeah, you have to remove duplicates. You have to remove URL. You have to remove any kind of content which is not necessary for yourself, like RDBMS. It's not exactly like RDBMS, but you have to make your data structured like an RDBMS, so that it's like a relational database type of thing. Does missing data comes under data cleaning? No, the missing data will not come under data cleaning. It will be coming under data collection. That is a very nice thing. Like, these are very good questions. So I just want, if for 2 minutes more, if you guys can like throw some more questions, what can be kept in that thing. Okay, let me start. um, if you want to if you are getting less data, for, let's say, if you are getting only 50 MB of data instead of 80 MB, which process is this? Which step this comes in? Will this come in? Removing duplicates affect the accuracy of the model? No, duplicates will not affect the accuracy of the model, because these are duplicate values. Duplicate value will just enhance whatever the values are there. So duplicate values will not never affect the accuracy. Clearing data means managing and formatting data, which way we can use those data for certain ML training. Okay, so this is a nice question, that if we are clearing the data, what how we can use this thing for the machine learning training. So first of all, when you are training a machine learning model, your data should be consistent. Then only the data can predict something, the data can make meaningful patterns out of it. Secondly, any type of machine learning model can use a cleaned out data, which is having pure consistent values. If you are having values which are not very consistent, there are null places everywhere, there are non-zero places anywhere, there are any n place values everywhere, so the data gets confused, because most of these data points will corrupt your data. uh, so repeat question. Duplicates will just increase load on resources and number of iterations to train, right? Yeah. So as I told you before this slide only, as we have data frames, so we don't that much worry about computations, the iterations, because data frames do it very fast. But yeah, it's like deleting duplicates will reduce the load on the resources. Okay, it'll come in underfitting. Twitter is asking for mobile number verification. Yeah, exactly. As I shown you in my screen sharing itself, that Twitter will ask for these type of things. Your phone number verification, how to clean incomplete data. We'll be seeing all those things. Then what is this is the data part. Whatever the data is coming, the collection, the cleaning, the visualization. Next three steps, what are there? Do we have data augmentation here? I don't think we have data augmentation in these type of models. Moving ahead, when we have like training, what we do, we are not yet making a machine learning model. How to image data is clean, I'll show you all these things. Okay, so now is question is, I am not yet making a machine learning model. These, after collecting and visualizing and cleaning all the data part, what I am doing is, I am separating out this data into two chunks. One is training data, the 80-90% of data in supervised learning, remember. And the second chunk is your outsample data, your testing data, prediction data, that tell me what is the prediction when you have observed the training data pattern. So can you tell me in the chat box, which data, training data or testing data, will be more when you are coding? Which have a more percentage? Or both of these? If I'm separating the data into two parts, testing and training, so are both of these data 50-50%, or there is some biasness? Training data more, testing, okay. Just tell me, training more, testing less, something like that. Training less, testing more. Which data is more? Training data is more. Yeah, exactly. Training data will always be more. Training data, not at least 70. Okay. Training data is not that much more. It's like, it's not 80-90. It will be 80-90%. Yeah, training data is definitely 80-90%, not 70%. If you have very less data, then 70% is okay. But if you have a lot of data, then you have to go for 80-90%. And yeah, 80-20 focus is good. Moving ahead, then we'll be doing a model evaluation. Do you know what a model evaluation means, and why I have written very important in front of it? Exactly, Tarun. Training data always have more data in order to predict more accurate prediction. Training to testing is 80 to 20. Depend on your size of the data set. Like in the current data set, we are using a 95 to 5% data. I'll be asking you like which type of biasness will be having out here. So yeah, my current question is, I have written a very important in front of model evaluation. Can you tell me why? Anyone? Yeah, Menka, training, testing less. Exactly, Menka. Evaluation is checking accuracy of model after various cycle of learning. Perfect, Shrishti, perfect. So model evaluation exactly is this. Before even writing the model, we have to think of the processes of evaluating a model. So how the model is accurate, what are the various parameters we are going to use after we have like certain amount of models which we have coded out. Apart from this, for confusion matrix accuracy, exactly, Nancy, apply model on test data is test evaluation. So before even now, you are seeing how you are approaching intuitively a machine learning project or a machine learning anything. If anyone gives you that, just go me and find out some things for this, this should be your exact approach step by step, and this will help you a lot. Most of the people, most of my juniors also, what I see is that the biggest mistake they do is that they start model building first and then they start evaluating. So what will this do? This will make your code very much structured and it will give you a high chances of success. Yeah, hello, hello, training more, yeah. Hello. Yeah. So I am currently showing you the steps. I'm currently showing you the steps in Jupyter Notebook, or you will be coding it in a Google Colab. But if you really want to be a good uh, developer in terms of coding, also these things, a good data scientist, a good data engineer, or something like that. If you really want to become that, what you do is you have to write pieces of code for each one of this. Your one code is data collection.py. The second script is data cleaning.py. Third is data visualization.py, testing training.py, model evaluation.py, and model building.py. So what will this do? This will make your code very much structured and it will give you a high chances of success when you are writing any kind of code. And then if you want to use it again and again, as this code will be following an concept, object oriented programming concept, it will be a production ready code and an interview ready code. I guess that will help. Chalo, ab I guess next part is code discussion only. So let's share my screen. And are you guys ready with your Jupyter notebooks or Google Colabs and the data sets? Can you please tell me? Jupyter notebook, Google Colab, anything, or and like OOP. Yeah, exactly, Ranjan. So are you ready with your two things, your IDE and your data set? Okay, let's get started. Let me first see that. Where is the model? Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Can we do first data visualization and then we do data cleaning? Uh, Anubhuti, I guess you are thinking about this in a wrong manner. Data visualization is not exactly like we are seeing that what exactly the data is. Data visualization is after cleaning the data, what are the insights we are getting from the data. This is an insight part, the analytics part of the data. The thing you are talking about, the visualization part, the thing what that is, yes, before cleaning you have to see what is the kind of data you are getting so that you can actually clean it properly. That is the thing which will remain first, but that is not known as a visual data visualization part of the thing. I guess there is a terminology difference here. Okay, let's hope this time the screen will. Okay, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Just write a yes or no. Can you see my Jupyter notebook? Write a yes or no, please. It's 6:55. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So let's start. We have the code written. I have the code written. And what we'll be doing is, what will be our format of going ahead is that we'll be dealing with each and every line intuitively. It will not be like you will be mugging things up, but it is not possible in a live class to code everything like from scratch here itself. That will consume a lot of time. That's why I have these templates ready with me. If you have any doubts with this thing, I can share you this thing after the class, after the session. But if you have any doubts anywhere, we'll be taking the pause after 4 or 5
Ar-
lines of after
Archit, if
each.
you could please check from your side, like if Jupyter is not showing actually.
Jupyter is not showing. Okay,
Please share the screen in which your Jupyter notebook is open.
I am sharing my entire screen only.
I think your PPT slide is showing like Archit.
Just one sec. Can you see my screen, Dhananjay? I have shared my entire screen.
Uh, can you open the Jupyter notebook in another slide only, means another tab, especially?
Another tab.
Yeah,
Okay,
and share
just one.
that particular screen only.
I'll try. Like I have hosted
Yeah,
on
it's
a local.
open. Yes, it's showing now. It's showing now.
It's showing. My Jupyter
Yeah,
notebook is showing it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So we'll be discussing each and every step as we'll be moving forward. If you can write the code, it will be like very good while we are discussing it. If you are not able to write the code that much fast, just try to understand each and everything. You can write all these things on your own also. Then you won't have to. If you are seeing anyone else code also, it would become very easy for you, because main thing is to understand what is happening everywhere. So yeah. Try Karthik ready. Try to switch Jupyter if you are going for DA or DS. Okay. Okay. Now visible. Perfect. Moving ahead. So as we have discussed in a slide by slide, we have discussed, we have coded exactly in that pattern. So it will be very much easy for you to grasp all the things. In the first line, what we have done is we have declared, we have imported both of our vectorization methods, that is pandas and numpy. You have to brace your seat belts for the pandas thing, as most of you don't know what are data frames. You will be getting some hits, but I'll be trying to make it very easy for you, because it's like one of the best things which you can ever learn, the pandas thing. So pandas is here, numpy is here. Our both super warriors are here. We don't want anything else right for now. So we'll be moving forward. Just doing this thing, running these things. In this line 66, which you are seeing here, you see whatever the data set you got. I guess you got this data set, project.csv. The first link which is shared by the team. Let me see if I can open this thing. Yeah, it is not UTF-8 encoded. I'll be telling you like what is a UTF-8 encoded and why it is not opening. Okay, just one sec. There is a suggestion. Okay, so do you know what is a UTF-8 encoding and what is an ISO encoding? I have to check that thing. Yeah. What is a UTF-8 and all those things? Text size is too small. Yes, can you go dark mode? If not, thank you. Okay, text size, please increase. Okay, I'll try to increase the text size. I hope it is better now, the text size. Let me join for the comment section also. Okay, just one thing. Yeah, can you see like we don't get that one? What is happening? Yeah. Can you please resend the data set? If convert char to machine binary and vice versa? Yes, sir. Okay. So there are like, first understand this thing. There are 2 to 3 types of encoding for each of the data. The very popular encoding, which is like used everywhere, is the UTF-8 encoding. So all your machines which are here, if you want to open anything, if it is encoded in UTF-8, you will be easily opening it anywhere. But as you saw here also, that in my laptop it is not getting opened. Type of encoding which is quite popular, it is ISO 8859. You don't have to remember all these things. It's just that if this is the kind of error you are facing anywhere while reading any file, you just have to switch to an ISO file. Okay, so that is, you don't have to learn this thing, you just have to know this thing. Yes, there are other types of encoding also. So you have mentioned that you just want these IDs, these things in your data set. What are these things? What is the target? What is a target? Target is, if you have seen the data set, if you have gone through the link of the data set which is provided to you, in that link the main thing is given all the data set values, that what are the data set and what are exactly that things. If you want, I can show you here also. Yeah, let's try to open it. Yeah, so you can see that what is a target, the polarity of the tweet. What is a polarity? 0 for negative, 2 for neutral, 4 for positive. If you are using the IDs, the ID is for the tweet, the date is for the which date the tweet is off, the flag is like if there is any red flag for that tweet, user who has tweeted that and what he tweeted is in the text section. So basically we only require these two things, target and text. But currently, as we are collecting the data, so we are trying to collect each and every bit of the data. So this is the data set which you will be using also. It has 1.6 million tweets. Coming back to a code, so you can see that the data set encoding which is here, it is like ISO. So now see the power of data frame. We have 1.6 million rows which are there, and in that 1.6 million rows, they are just read by this data set within few seconds. I have pressed an enter. I have given that hey data set, just go and read this CSV, name as project CSV. The encoding type for this CSV file is dating, that is ISO encoding. And what are the columns you have to use? To use these type of columns: target, ID, date, flag, user, text. So this is like a 250 MB data, and you see that within couple of minutes it has read all the data sets and provided us the top 5. The df.head means the top 5 values. So you can see that we have the indexing, the targets, the IDs, the date, the flag, the user, who is the user, and what the text he or she has written. Define target. Okay, so the main I have received ml latest zip file only. You have to unzip that file. you will be getting a zip file. You have to unzip that file. uh, it's a Unicode character. Yeah, you all get this thing. So you can see, can you please brief CSV file? I'm not very sure what do you mean by briefing CSV file. So let's discuss that when we are moving ahead. So getting error tweepy. So tweepy is not to be used. Tweepy, I have commented all this code of tweepy for the authentication thing. We are going with the data set which we currently have. Not in file, can tell the correct file name please. Okay, so you can rename your file, whatever the file you are getting from that zip file, you can rename that file to project.csv. I have renamed that file after downloading it to a project.csv file. So it will open smoothly for you. So you will be seeing like these are the 5 data sets. This is the kind of data set which are there. Can you see this thing? Anyone who has reached till here? CSV is comma separated file, comma separated values. CSV file is a comma separated value file. You don't have to worry that much about the CSV file, because the link which I have provided, it will give you a zip file, and that zip file is then converted to a CSV file. Oh, perfect. We have like 2 guys, Tarun and Nancy. They are here. They reached here. Okay. Moving ahead. Which file? Can you share the link again? Or can you pin that link, Ananjay? The CSV file we are talking about. Okay, moving ahead. Now what we have to do is, now we have to see what this function will do. This function will do, we have seen that in a data set, in a Kaggle, what it is saying. It is taking a bit of time. Yeah, in a Kaggle data set, you can see here that the target which is given here, target is 0 for negative, 2 for neutral, and 4 for positive. So these are the values which we are seeing. Getting error, Unicode error. Sir, please wait. Yeah, I'm waiting. Don't worry about it. I'm not rushing. Can you please share the notebook, sir? As screen is not visible. I guess screen is visible for most of the people. Can you please reload this thing? Can you guys see that the target values are 0 for negative, 2 for neutral, and 4 for positive? Yeah. So these are the 3 values which the data set is claiming that it will have for target. Now let us see, for all the unique values for our data, how many values are we getting? So it is saying we are only getting 2 values, 0 and 4. And 0 and 4 belongs to which group? 0 is negative and 4 is positive. So we don't have any neutral values in this data set. What is after data set in read CSV file? Okay. You can see here. Yeah. You can data set columns. You have to give the names of the column in this thing. I hope everyone is here, because things will get simple after this. You don't have to worry that much about. You just have to load the file correctly, and then you have to just see that what is happening. Okay, perfect. All of you are here. Any doubts? Any doubts? Can you tell me one thing? What is the length? What is the size of a data set? Can you tell me, if you have clicked that link which I have sent you, there was a size written on that data set. Can you tell me what is the size of that data set? Can you share the file once again? This you have to ask. Can you please tag @coding ninjas for this? You can just search. If you are not getting the file also, you can just search on Google sentiment 140 dataset, Twitter. Line 143 again, okay? Let's move to line 143. Line 143 is saying us that we have only 2 types of target values, 0 and 4. In a data set, it was given, it can be 3 values, 0, 2, and 4. But in this 1.6 million rows, we only have 0 and 4. We don't have a neutral data set. Now let's see the length of the data set. You can see ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000, and millions. So we have a 1.6 million length of a data set, which is correct, which is given to us from the website also. it shows to be 85 MB. When you unzip it, it will become around 200 MB. Now let us see what is. You can see here that all these things are possible because of which thing? Because of this PD. What is PD? This is a pandas. So pandas will make our life so much easier. If we give to pandas that what is the shape, you can see that the shape is 16,000, 1.6 million target values. So these are how to include data set here. Columns which are there. Just one sec. Yeah, the target, the IDs, the date, the flag, the user, the text. So these are how to include dataset file in Google Colab. So in Google Colab, what you can do is you can make a folder and you can put your file in that folder itself. So it will read it from the folder. File not open in Jupyter notebook. What to do? So what is the error? Can you please write the error here? Those who are not able to open the file. Meanwhile, for other guys, you can do a lot of things. You can play with this data a lot. That what is the info of this data? Let's see what is the info for this data. It will take a bit of time. See, there are 1.6 million target values. There are 1.6 million IDs. There are 1.6 million date. All these values are 1.6. There are no null values in this. And what is the data type of these values? These two values are integer in nature, and these four values are object in nature. These are some of the insights which you will be getting for your data. So now what I have to do is that if I find any null value in my data set, here it is written not null, but in case if there are any null values, what I will just do, I will just run this type of query, and if there is any null value in the data set, it will get removed. Sir, I'm getting a string starting at okay. So Aditi, have you followed exactly the same things which we have written here, or you have written something else? I'm not very sure about that. Okay, just tell me if you guys have written exactly like these things. Sir, exact same. Please type the error if it is possible. Just copy paste the error here, and we can see the screen is not clear. The screen seems clear, I guess. Anyone else is feeling the same thing? Don't access folder also. Okay, let me check if I can open Google Colab. Anyone else using Google Colab here? Okay. If this is the error, Anshuman, you have to do this thing again. Like you have to run the file from the first line itself. Then this error will not be there. See, end of line. Yeah, for you too, Aditi, just go from the top and run each and every line again. It goes. It is because you ran some line before the other line, and that's why the value of this thing is now new one. So that's why you are getting this type of error, because you just have to go from the top of the line and run each and every line again. Then probably this error will go. New notebook. Let's see what is happening in the Google Research Colab. Okay, Nancy has given us solution. Please, guys who are using Colab, please try to follow this solution. In this section, I guess you have to do. I'm not very sure about the Colab interface. I guess Nancy's solution will work. You have to upload the file in your drive, and then you can import via sys, import sys command. Please try to do that. Okay. See that we have no null value, and already checked the target as unique, so we don't have to check it again. And we have to see that how many number of unique values our target have. So we have only two types of unique values in our target, which is 0 and 4. We don't have a neutral sentiment in our code. So when you want to install anything in directly in your Jupyter notebook, you do it using a exclamation mark pip3 install word cloud. So in my Jupyter notebook, word cloud was not there. If it is there in your word cloud, you don't have to do this. But if it is there, just install it. I can't read my CSV file. What is the error, fitness focus? If you can write here. Yeah. So now this part, what was this part? This part is data collection. Now we are moving towards what you can say a data. We can visualize the data first, or we are trying to, we are not cleaning the data first. Yeah, we are visualizing the data first in this thing. So let's move towards the visual data visualization part. How a data looks like. So all the visualization things in Python are done via Seaborn and Matplotlib. These are the two major plotting tools in Python. You just have to plot these things. And then, yes, this is a tricky one. UTF-8 codec can't decode. Yes, so I have told you, fitness focus. It is not a UTF-8 type of file. It is a ISO type of file. You have to give encoding as dataset encoding, and dataset encoding should be ISO 88959-1 fitness focus. So yeah. Now moving ahead to a plotting part. These are the main libraries for a plotting. Now understand this thing. What we are trying to do here. We are trying to please listen this carefully. This is like try changing. Yeah, that's a very good solution. Try to listen to this very carefully because this is very, very important. Can you tell me in chat how many types of target, how many types of segments we have in this data? And what are they? Can you please type it in the chat? Type anyone. Can you hear me, guys? Okay, 3. Anyone else? What are those, Nitin? Can you tell me what are the 3 types of targets which we have in this data set? So what is target? Let's have a break at this moment because we are moving a bit fast, I guess. The question is how many types of emotions or targets we have in this data set? Okay. 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 So yeah, sentiments. How many type of sentiments which we have in this data set? Yes. All those guys who are saying 2, negative and positive, they are right. They are not 3. 3 is written in the Kaggle dataset, Kaggle platform, but we have tested it again and again. We just have only 2 types of dataset here, the 0 and the 4. That means the positive and the negative. So what we have to do is, what we want to do now is, we have to separate out how many data sets are there for positive and how many data types of data sets are there for negative, so that we can, and then we want to plot a bar graph that what is the distribution in these data sets. There are 2 data sets, or currently also people are writing 3. There are only 2 data sets, positive and negative. We have tested it again and again. 0 and 4 you can see in the data in the link, and we are seeing here also number of unique values for target. They are only 2, not 3. Okay. So moving ahead, now you understand this is a group by method. This is by far the most useful data frame method which you will be using in your careers. The yeah, I'll be learning each and everything here. The group by function is most used function in the interviews, in the uh, in the projects also, group projects. Can we visualize data using matplotlib only? Yeah, you can visualize using matplotlib only. Seaborn is a kind of library which will give you a heat map kind of structures. The stream is like, I guess, a 5 to 10 second delay. So this group by what is doing is, hey data frame, just go group by my target values on the basis of counts, plot those counts, and give me the distribution of data. I want the distribution of data on the basis of target counts. Do you understand this? Yeah, Anshuman, I have told you na, that you have to install this word cloud. You have to write this thing, exclamation mark pip3 installed word cloud. Then you will be doing that. Do you understand this group by thing? Can you please tell me? Hey data frame, I'm repeating this thing. Hey data frame, just group my data according to the counts of target, and I want a bar type of graph. Just give me the distribution of data. And as I only have two types of data, negative and positive, only two. That's why we have only negative and positive here. And we are storing the sentiment. We are now only storing two things. If you can see here, we are now storing only two things, which I told you earlier also. Uh, Text, whatever the text is, and whatever the sentiment is. Okay. Now let's run this thing. Just wait for 5 to 10 seconds. See what is here. You can see that the data gets distributed in only two formats, the negative format and the positive format. The data is distributed in terms of lines, how many negative sentiments and how many positive sentiments. Yeah, one interesting observation is here. Can you tell me that? See, yeah, one thing I forgot to discuss with all of you guys. In when you are doing machine learning, data science, or data analysis, anything of this, the most important part is, whenever you are doing any kind of visualization or analysis, you should have some prominent observations from that data. Seeing this result, seeing this distribution of data, can you tell me some insights which you can observe them directly here? Can you write some insights here? What are the insights which you can see? Anything very simple also. Can you show legend part of L149? uh, this one, legend is false. Yeah, that's very good. Equal amount of tweets with both sentiments, that's good. So the data which we got from that data set, it is a very equally separated data with equal values of data on positive side and negative side. Okay, can you tell me one thing? You are observing they both are equal on the basis of the bars. Can you observe one more thing, like if the bars are not that high, if the bars are slightly above and below, what is the main uh, thing which you can see? Our data was 1.6 million big and the data is exactly 800,000 on each side. Can you observe these two things? Yes or no? Most of the guys have said this about this thing. So this is one of the observations from this data. So when you are seeing the data, when you are like observing this type of data, you shall give this understanding, you shall write this understanding for your team manager, for your client, for everyone, that the type of data I got, it has similar amount, or it has more positives, it has less negatives. This is the analysis you have to provide them. I'm not just preparing you for the machine learning part, I am also preparing you how you can quickly implement this thing in your jobs also, or a freelancing career also. This insight will give you a lot of extra advantage. This will make you a professional rather than just completing the work. Error, no module named word cloud. For this thing I have I'm keeping this thing, saying this thing repetitively. Just install this thing, word cloud. Pip3 installed word cloud. If you are doing it on a Google Colab or a Jupyter Notebook, just add an exclamation mark. If you are doing it on a terminal, don't add this thing. Okay. Now, second is SNS.count plot. So how many plots are there? You can see this is the data which is distributed. Like what is the kind of data on the basis of as a bar distribution. If we just want a simple distribution using SNS, you can see somebody is saying, can we only use matplotlib? If we are using only matplotlib, this kind of distribution is seen to us. If we are using a SNS count plot, this type of distribution is giving here. In Jupyter already installed, but still error. So uninstall it first and then repeat it. Why there are four colors in the first graph? Yeah, 5 colors actually. So basically what plot do is the matplotlib library, it will segregate the data in chunks, and because of those chunks the data distribution gets a bit more colorful, as you can see, a rainbow type of structure. On the other hand, SNS completely just integrate all the chunks and give you one color. In most of the plots which you are doing via matplotlib, you will be seeing if there is a lot of data, you will see that there is a same amount of sentiment which we can see via the graph distribution. What I'm saying, that there is a same amount of sentiment which we can see via the graph distribution. The second observation which we observed, that as the full data, complete data is 1.6 million, we can see that the data is distributed in 800 k lines on each side. So it is also equal in terms of numbers also. It is not like that we are missing data in between, that there are, let's say, 1.6 million whole data, 6,000 rows are missing, and the rest are full. That is not the case here. Okay. So this is a basic visualization of the data. Moving ahead, now data cleaning part. This part, it's like it will be, I really think that it will be a bit difficult for you guys to code these things all up. So try to understand these things. It will be very much easier for you. Okay. So what I will be first doing is, just think of an Excel sheet. Your first Excel sheet is having these type of values. Think of it is every cell. Now from each of these cells, you want to pick up these two columns, text and target. So from each of these cells, you want to pick up things. That is the thing, you are doing a sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is done on text. So you are only using target and text out here. Okay. So now when we are moving ahead towards the data cleaning part, we don't want all those overheads in our data. We just want these two parts. What are these? Text and target. So from the whole Excel sheet, it will just pick up these two columns, text and target, equally, and remove all the other things. Apart from this thing, what we are having, yeah. So can anyone tell me what this line can be representing? This is a good insight. I'm not very sure how many of you can answer this thing, but I really want someone to just try to answer this thing. What we are trying to do in this thing? Can anyone tell me? Take your time. I'll give you 1 more minute. I'll discuss at 7:30. We are separating out two types of data here: text and target, and copy of slice of data frame. That is the above line, the slice of the data frame which we took, text and target. Use 1 instead of 4. Okay. Replace 4 instead of 1. Okay. In the target values. So we have target values 0 and 4, and you are saying we are replacing 4 with 1. Okay. That is understood. But why we are doing this? Why we want to do this thing? Can you tell me? And is this a necessary thing to do? Yeah. Shrishti is right. Shrishti has given the right answer. Exactly. Easier to work with binary. It's not about only the binary thing. It's mainly about that it becomes easier to to understand things. If there are more than two things, three things, or four, five things, whatever are there, if there are more than five things also, it is better to go to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, rather than 0, 4, 8, 16, 12, something like this, some odd numbers. So it becomes easy. 0 is negative, 4, 1 is positive. So that's why what makes sense, we use 4 to represent as positive. Yeah, so it's like, it is not a necessary move, but it is a professional move. You try to consist, you will try to make the data consistent everywhere. That's why you are doing this kind of thing. It's not necessary. If we remove this line and make some code tweaks according to that, it will work just as fine. But this is like a way a professional would do it. So now what we want to do, now we are checking again. In the above section, we check again that it is an array of 0 and 4. Now we are checking it again. What should be the answer in this case? Can anyone tell me? If we do positive and negative, shouldn't we try to replace 1 and minus 1 with? That's a very brilliant idea, Devanshu. We can just do a, what you have to do for, uh, if we want to replace negatives with minus 1, 0 being neutral. Yeah, exactly. If you have a neutral sentiment, it would make much more sense. So yeah, you can see there is a general warning statement. This is a warning. This is not an error. This is like the transformations of Python in the newer versions. That's okay. Now you are seeing the answer as 0 and 1. Okay, so that's nice. Most of you have, I guess you have given the right answer. Now what we are doing is we are separating the positive data and the negative tweet data. So the negative is 0, positive is 1. So what we are telling is, this data is a data frame. Hey, data frame, go get all your target values which are 1 and store it into a data positive variable. Similarly, hey data, go and fetch all the values which are 0 and store it in a data negative variable. Understood this thing? Moving ahead. Now, yeah. What we are doing is that we don't want to work on the, we do replace 0 and minus 1. That's good, Devanshu. Learning quite decently. Now we don't want to do that. We want to go out and make the transitions, make this thing, analyze the data on full 1.6 million. This is just to make things quicker. It is not necessary. If you want to like target 1.6 million rows, these two lines are not necessary. For time purposes, to make this like a bit more faster, I am just taking 20,000 values for now, so that we can operate on 20,000 values first, and then we can move ahead. So for the positive and negative values, we have 800,000 values, but now we are only taking 20,000 uh, for our purposes using iloc function. Yeah, what is iloc? Iloc is like, have you you guys know Python, right? Yeah, I'll be sharing, Devanshu. These notebooks I'll be sharing. Do you know the slicing functionality in Python? Can anyone tell me in the any example quickly? What is slicing? Anyone of you like here don't know what slicing is? Okay, so slicing is, let's say my name is Archit, and I just want HIT from here. Quickly, guys, who know what HIT from here, can you do that? Just write it for the guys who don't know this thing. How will you write this thing? यार ये कोडिंग फीवर का ये जो फॉन्ट है ये बड़ा अजीब सा है. It's okay. I'm not very able to see here cause it lagged. Okay, sorry. The question is for all those guys who don't know what slicing is. My name is ARCHIT, Archit, and I just want HIT from it. Can you please write the code for this? Okay, no problem. So all those who guys who don't know, I guess Anubhuti don't know about this thing. Slicing is this. Yeah, exactly. Abhishek, Gafi, nice. So slicing is this thing that if you want to, from a big thing, from a big chunk of data, from a big name, slicing in Python specifically used in string type of purposes. So if you have Archit, if you have Anubhuti, so if you just want to extract out from one index to other, so what you will be doing is you will be slicing out from A colon B. So you will be getting the data from A colon B. So that is slicing. You slice out a small part from a large string. So that is slicing. So similarly, if we keep it blank, that means if we are there are two ends in slicing, the first end and the second end. If we leave any side of this slicing as a blank thing, it will take everything from there. Have you a basic maths, do you know what a straight line is and what a ray is? All those who guys who don't know about this thing slicing, do know the difference between a straight, you must have read it in 4th or 5th standard, line, segment or ray. So if you are just escaping writing anything on the front or on at the end, it would be like it would be acting as a ray. It will be covering all the elements on the other side of this array. Similarly, in a data positive thing, when we are doing an iloc, this is a slicing technique in DataFrames. It will take all the elements from the beginning, from 0 till 20,000. All the elements from 0 till 20,000. I guess now it is clear. A ray would be a slice of a straight line. Yeah, exactly. That's nice, Shrishti. Okay. Moving ahead, two endpoints and one endpoint. Yeah, exactly, Mandeep and Prateek, ND.array. Good. Moving ahead. Now, what we are doing is we have now two data sets, one data set containing all the positive value, one data set containing all the negative values. Now what we want to do is we have tried all the things, we have separated out both of the data sets. Now we want these two data sets to combine to each other. For this combining, we just write an English sentence concat, and that will combine this data set variable will have both of these values, the data positive and the data negative. Acha, can anyone tell me what are we doing in this line? This is very basic Python. We are locking the target. I am not very sure. Why lowercase? Why we want to do a lowercase? It will convert to lowercase. Why we want that? Why we want to convert it into a lowercase thing? And what is this? What are we converting into lowercase? What is this text? Can anyone remember this thing? What is text? Yeah. So, yeah, anyone, no one has told me that what is text here? The tweets, exactly, Srishti. So, the text is the tweets, the main thing which we have to analyze. So these tweets which are there, so what we want to do is all these tweets, now we have to start cleaning the tweets. How we are going to clean the tweets? First we have to make everything consistent. Why? How we start, the first step to start cleaning is make everything in either uppercase or a lowercase, anyone which you want. So that everything becomes consistent, and now it becomes easy for you to do that, to do all those things. Then we can see a database.tail, and we can see that everything is in lowercase now, everything. So now what are the other things which you can see from here which have to go, which are not useful for us? Can you see? Yeah. In the chat box, I am not very sure how. This notebook is like saved on my local computer. I will be sharing this notebook. Don't worry about this. And if you are not using the stop word list completely, you can just try out 5 to 10 words from it, because other things will get separated out. Don't worry about this thing. So, yeah, first of all, tell me in this just five personalities, in this five sentences and five tweets, what are the things which you think are not of any use for us? Can you see anything here? Entire array, just copy paste. Okay, let me try if I can. I'm not very sure I'm logged in. Yeah, I'm logged in. Okay, stop words are not useful. Okay, just apart from stop words you have seen in the next line. But apart from stop words, what do you think? Just try to write there. Okay. Let's see if I can join this. I want some answers apart from stop words. How can I like? Okay, I have to create a channel to post here, I guess. I can't just do do it. Actually, no spaces are delimiters. That's good. Okay. Can you see I'm not getting the responses? Stop words, part of NIGs, blank spaces, punctuation spaces, delimiters. Okay. Okay. So I guess the commas are not here. Commas are not required. This double colon type of things not required. These are the some of the things which I can see here which are not required. This is a stop word list which is very common as a part of machine learning. I tried to paste it on the YouTube. It was saying to create a channel. So you can, if you can look in Google stop word list, you can like, I guess you will be able to find this out. So try to copy this thing out. So what we'll be doing is we'll be first removing stop words. What are stop words? Which don't have any conclusiveness. We can't conclude anything. What we conclude with an a, about. We can't say it is a negative or a positive sentiment. We can't say that it is a good word or a bad word. So it's like these are words which are not very useful for us. These are weasel words. We can extract them out from the sentences. So what we'll do is we'll first make a list like this. These lists are available for many of the ML projects. So as per your project, whatever you are doing, just create a list like this. And what you will do, you will be doing is you will be just cleaning this thing using a lambda function. I'm not very sure. Do you know lambda functions? It is basically list comprehension type of functions. List comprehension. These are Python basic topics. I'm not very sure you guys know about this thing or not. These are very, very basic things. You just have to learn the syntax once. You just declare that what you don't want, and boom, there will be nothing. So Nitin, I would suggest you to see about this lambda function. It is very useful in the Python journey also, irrespective of the machine learning and all those tasks. It will make everything very easy. Easy list comprehension with one line. Exactly, Devanshu. So after this, you will be like, you will be getting all these words removed from the list. You can't see this thing because we have like 20,000 columns. So we can't print all those columns. So that's why you can't see that very right. Now what we'll doing is we'll be removing all the punctuations. What are the punctuations? The commas, the, I guess, the double spaces and all those type of things. So this cleaning is a very standard process. You have to write this. You don't have to learn this thing intuitively. You just have to write a code, a Python script, and just keep that script in one of your directories. Make it a library for yourself, and whenever you're trying a machine learning project, just call this script and this will do everything for you. You can't write each and everything of this again and again and again and again. It is no use to learn each and everything. If you are giving an interview also, just give a hash, just comment out this thing, data cleaning, and just write punctuations. I will clean punctuations, I will clean stop words, I will clean this and that. You don't have to remember. If you sit and remember all these things, you will be like defying the purpose, the main purpose, which is creating a good machine learning model. So just copy this as it is from anywhere, like just take a code and keep it with yourself, so that you can try every time you are using a machine learning model, you are creating a machine learning model, pass it through this thing. That's all, that's nothing. So I'm just telling you what are the types we are removing. We are removing punctuations, we are removing repeating characters, we are removing urls, and we are cleaning numbers also, because numbers don't provide anything for sentiments. I am not very sure, Devanshu, about the previous two sessions. I am here for this session only. Okay, now after cleaning all these things, we want one more thing from our code. What is that thing? Tokenization. Can anyone know here what is tokenization? Anyone? What tokenization means? You have to be very active on chat also, I guess. I'm not very sure you have done this for the past two sessions or not, but I am not that. I really want interaction. So why we use RE? I'll be telling you that. RE. Okay, you have seen that RE anywhere else? Yeah. Okay, I'm really sorry. Thanks, Coding Fever. So for this thing, RE is regular expression. Have you read about regular expression in your mathematics? I guess 11th, 12th. So regular expressions are something like this will start from this will end from this, something will come in between. So giving this type of statement to Python is done with regular expressions. So you have to learn two things, lambda and regular expression. Okay. Uh, Something, I guess Devanshu is telling us, separating the words from string to treat as individual. Perfect, Devanshu, perfect. That's one of the best things. So tokenization is this only. What is tokenization? Whatever the strings you are getting, you are just separating that strings out in each and every, let's say, part of a list. Remember the list example which we took previously, that each list can have two values or this or that. So what we have a list. It is very easy to loop over a list, to do various functions on a list. So that's how what we do. Whatever the strings we are getting, we are separating each and every string as a list, so that we get one word as a part of the list. Let's see how it seems. See, we have separated out all those things, and now our words also got separated in a type of a list. This is known as tokenization. Is this cool? Do you know this thing before? TOC and compile. Perfect, Nick. Who is this Nick? I'm not very sure. That's the best things. The regex, the regular expression thing, you will be studying in theory of computation and the compiler subjects. These subjects will be full of these things. Those who are not from computer science background, I'm really sorry. I'm putting this thing up, but these are the two things, TOC and compiler. You will be finding this regex thing a lot. Thanks, Nick, for pointing this out. So yeah, so this is a cool thing for the tokenization thing. Now what we do is, now understand this thing. Now what we have done till now, we have collected the data, we have visualized somewhat the data, we have cleaned the data, and now what we want is, because there are like lakhs and lakhs of English words which exist, but there is a library in natural language processing in Python. What it do is, it takes each and every word and give it to a, what I can say, a stem or a branch. You can visualize this thing, that there is one word, good, and there is like happy and pleasure and what you can say, all these synonyms which are similar to happy, happy or good, they are all, if I find a word happy, I will keep it in this branch of good. So this is a stemming part, that this is the main word and these are the base words. We will do all the base words and combine it to the main word. So there is a library called for this, known as like the stemming library, you will get all these words, all these list word, and feed it to this library. What this library will do, it will segregate all these words, classify all these words into similar kinds of word, convert to lower language. Yeah, this can be understood. Positive words or negative words. It's not obviously always positive, and it is not about positive or negative. It is about similar kinds of words, not exactly positive or negative. Am I clear in this thing, Shristi? So it's like a tree. Yeah, Devanshu, it's like a tree. So we have big words, big base, big main words, and these are some base words. These base words gets collected to this main word. Is this thing clear, Devanshu, Srishti, Guffy, Adarsh? Can you please write a yes or a no for this thing? Okay. ID. Yeah. Okay. So see that we have not much time of weekend work trip. So what it did is that, okay, we have head here. So without trying to ruin this, let's see if we can do this. I meant the words you were yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Shristi. The words which I was describing, those are positive words. Yes, it's just bunching similar sentiments. Yeah. So you can see that not much time of weekend work trip, MA. So this remains the same. One day holidays remains the same. Feeling right, hate, damn, Humphrey remains the same. GZ, I am not very sure. Whole book personality remains the same. Sign Donny bent over. So we are not seeing those kinds of words, but that's the main concept of this stemming, that all the words which can be put under a particular set of words, they got merged into those stems. Okay. So moving ahead, import NLTK. Yeah, import NLTK, natural language library. This is. So we have completed the data cleaning part. We have completed a bit of visualization part. We have completed a bit of I just want your suggestion, guys, that you want me to cover these things on this space only. The pace is good, or should I, like, because I have one more project to do, should I pace up the things? It's completely yours. It's a democratic world. Natural language toolkit. Yeah. So just please tell me. I'll try to cover that thing up, but are you understanding these things or not? Because my main focus is, if you know this thing well, you can apply to it anywhere. Would you please share the notebook? Okay, I can pace it out. Okay. So now going for the visualization. Okay. ठीक है. So visualization part पे आते हैं अब. So what we are doing is, एक part पे, एक एक्सेस पे हमने टेक्स्ट रख लिया, एक एक्सेस पे हमने टारगेट रख लिया. ओके. सो अब जो है हम इसमें क्या करेंगे, नाउ व्हाट वी वांट टू डू, वी वांट टू एनालाइज दैट व्हाट आर द नेगेटिव एनवायरनमेंट, व्हाट आर द मेन नेगेटिव वर्ड्स which can be seen, and what are the main positive words which can be seen. So we will be making a word cloud. I'm not very sure if you know what a word cloud is, but when you will be seeing this thing, you will be getting the idea. So the data negative, the negative data, previously I took only 20,000 values. Now what I am doing is, I am taking the whole values, the every, whatever the values which are there, 800k values, I am taking all those values and I am putting it in a word cloud. So see, something like this will be there. This is a word cloud, like all the words mixed together, and whatever the word is coming the most number of time, it will appear the most bold. So you can see now, go, work, back, today, got, going, day. These are some of the words which the natural language processing thinks that these are considered as some negative words as per a data set. Secondly, same thing for the positive. We did this for the text word because we have joined, we have concatenated. If you remember this thing, we have concatenated positive and negative in this sequence. So now what we will be doing is, we took data and we took first 80,000, and then what we are be doing, we are taking the next 80,000 words, and you can see good, love, lol, thank, day, now, going, today, quote, awesome. So these are some of from our data set. These are the word clouds which, so Okay, so this represents the frequency. Exactly, Devanshu. These are the frequency of the words. Those words which are very large, they have a bigger frequency, they appear big. Those have very less frequency, they appear small. This is known as a word cloud. You can do this thing for a resume also. A quick hack. Don't tell anyone. Okay. Moving ahead. Can you show this code again? So code is there. Can you please? I'll be sharing this notebook, and I guess the students wants me to pace up. So can we do this code part at the end? I can teach you the concept. Okay. Is it okay, Tarun? Seems real. Okay. Okay. So now what we are doing is, now this step is done. Data visualization part is done. Three parts are done. Three parts are left. Let's quickly pace it up. So now what we are doing is we'll be building the testing and the training data. So testing and training data can be best built by this data model. It is like the most famous model we'll be seeing in every test and train, the SK learn model selection. So what this do is it will take, you will give it the model four variables: x train, x test, x train, y train, y test. You apply this function test train split. You give xy. What is xy? Xy should be here. Yeah, xy is your text data and your target data. Okay. So you give xy, your x-axis and the y-axis. You give the test size. I am giving him 5% for the training data and 95% for the 95 for the training data, 5% for the testing data. So test size is 0.05. If I want to increase, I can increase it like 0.1, 0.15, 0.20. That is 20% data, which we have discussed earlier. So I'm giving it 0.5, and random state is anything. If you are giving random state as false, it will again and again generate different kind of data at each iteration. But if you give the random state a particular number, it will generate the random state as per that number only. So it is up to you if you want a similar kind of data again and again, or you want different kind of data again and again. So random state is for that. So this is like a test and train data. I have outputted it, and then I am like now training my model. How I'm gonna train in model? There is a training algorithm known as TF-IDF vectorizer. So this is one of the algorithm which trains the model. What I do is, in this model I fit, first I try to fit the training purposes, and then whatever the training purpose will get from that result, it will get the results, and it will be like giving us the features, like how many words it has to go through for the feature words. So it has 500,000 words. We total have 800,000 words for each, but now it is fitting to like around 500,000 words. Now this is just basic vectorization dot transform and these things. These are just standard models when you are training a model. So this, what will this taking all the values, it will take, it will make the values consistent, and it will vectorize all those values. So that is one of the, so can we take 80/20? Yeah, we can take 80/20. So moving ahead, now, four things are completed. Coming to the fifth part, model evaluation. So for the model evaluation, we are going with these three things: accuracy score, confusion matrix, and ROC AUC under ROC area under curve. Do you know what are these things? Accuracy score, I guess you know. Confusion matrix, you will get very clear. Do you know what are ROC AUC curve? So what's the logic to decide the split? So it's not that much logical. It's just that I was testing this data via various testing sample. So this data got some good results. It is not that any logic is there. It's just that I was trying out this data on various numbers, and 95.5 is one of the numbers which I found somewhat suitable because the data set is very big. So 5% data also contains a lot of values. So that's why I just, it is not that you can try out with 80/20, you can try out with 90/10 also. It's just upon you. It's not a very hard and fast rule. Okay. Moving ahead on the model evaluation part, so we can see that uh, the things, the accuracy score, the confusion matrix. Oh, okay, so the data size, yeah, for the data size. So I am predicting, so my model, here should be my model. Where is my model? I am predicting. Okay. Okay. So this is like an evaluation function. So what is there? Code passing me the model, and this evaluate model evaluate function, what it will do, it will it will see what are the predictions for the y-axis. It will give a report, and what it will be doing, it will be making a confusion matrix for us, and it will be doing all the plots. These three things will be given by this model. So we are just making this model as a separate part of the code. Whenever we are trying to build a machine learning model, we pass the results to this model to evaluate the things. So that is one of the thing. Now we are coming to the model building part, the last part, the final part. So first of the model which we are going through, area under curve is area under, I don't know, ROC. Okay, so something of curve. So area under curve is like it's like return, like what is the return on the values. So if it is like the more the area under curve is there, the more it is like the more valuable the model is, the more correct the model is. You can see it is a binary classifier. The higher the area is under the curve for this thing, it will give us more positive results and the model is more better. So ROC plots the true positive rate against the, Kasun has said this. ROC plots the true positive against the false positive. So that will give us a range that what is the positives which we are getting. So first model which we are doing for this Twitter sentiment analysis is Bernoulli naive Bayes. After 5 things which are common for each and every machine learning model almost, it now we are starting a main machine learning model thing. This will be seen in each and every project which we'll be doing. The 5 things are almost same for everyone, and these model building techniques will differ again and again. So that 5 things you can code it yourself and keep it for yourself. It will become a piece of cake for each and every one of you when you are dealing with all these kinds of things. So first model, what is this? This is a standard Bernoulli model. You just import this Bernoulli model from sklearn and just use this fit function to give the x train values and what are the expected y train values, and then you do a prediction on these values. You send this model to a evaluate model also, so that it can go and give us the numbers. Correct predictions versus wrong predictions then. Yeah, exactly. So you can see that from the Bernoulli naive Bayes theorem, we can see that from our accuracy model, we are getting an accuracy for a F1 score of 80%. These are the main values which we have to see. For case 0 it is 80%, for case 1 it is also 80%, so it doesn't matter. The main thing is accuracy of 80%. We are always seeing the F1 score. The confusion matrix, you can see the true negative is 39.77%, the false negative 9.5%, true positive is 40%, and false positive is 10.31%. So true positive are a good healthy number in these things. So these are some of the things. Apart from this, for the ROC AUC curve, in our above model evaluate model, we have not implemented ROC AUC curve. We are implemented it separately, but if you want, you can just implement it with that same thing. So in this model, you just have to import the ROC curve and the AUC, and you can see that the area under curve is coming out 80%, around 80%, which is here. Same, the second model, we have an SVM model, the support vector machine model. There are many kind of models which you can apply. I'm showing you 3 models so we can compare a bit. So first model have a ROC that is 80%. Second model is SVM, support vector machine. This is a straight line model. You can learn more about all these models. I can share you some links where you can read about all these things, and you can see that the case 0 prediction is 81, case 1 prediction is 82%, overall accuracy increases with 82%. Confusion matrix, we can see the true positive increases to 41%, before it was only 40%. So this is a better model. ROC under curve, same code. The ROC under curve is 82 now from the previous one. Moving ahead, the third model is the most famous model, that is the logistic regression model. These are some of the models. You don't have to see these models as very difficult, complex type of structures. These are very similar. You can see that the actual model code is just 4 lines. It is just the preparation which took that so much long. So you can just implement any model which is there, and you can test out on different kind of data sets, 90%, 10%, 95%, 80%. That's your choice completely, and you can analyze all the results. You can see for the case 0 and case 1, it is coming to be 83% F1 score, and the accuracy is also 83. Is it improving or decreasing? Can anyone tell me? Logistic regression is a better model or a worse model? Can anyone tell me? Going towards the ROC curve for this model, we are getting an 83%. So can you tell me which model is the best, second best, and third best? Which is the best model, second best model, and the third best model? Third is the best. सेकेंड नंबर पे हमारा सेकेंड मॉडल है, फर्स्ट नंबर पे हमारा फर्स्ट मॉडल है. सो दीज आर द predictions which we did with the sentiment analysis. With the word cloud, we observed which are the main words which are there, and with the predictions which we have figured out that how the markets are reacting, how much the model is giving us the accurate values. So these are some of the things for the Twitter models. Some of the things which you have to remember in these things, that currently we did this thing over all the words which are there in the bucket. What you also can do is you can use hashtags in this, that just take the hashtag part and see if you just feed those hashtags into this word cloud, you will be seeing which hashtag is trending. So that's how hashtag trends are basically designed in these things. So this is one of the thing. Let's move towards a slide. Yeah, so I just move to this one. Let's use this only. It's lagging. Yeah. So we have done the code discussion. Using word cloud, can we return the top frequencies, or do we need to do that with a different? We can return the top frequencies. It is by default the top frequencies in the word cloud. Devanshu. Now moving on recommendation systems, we'll be using getting through this movie recommendation system. So let's try to cover it up as soon as possible. We have like around 20-25 minutes left. So let's go. Okay, so first, before moving on with this case
Guys, just wait a second. There's been a network issue from Arch's side. He'll be joining in next 2 minutes.
Hello.
Yes, Archit, you are audible. You can share your screen.
Okay. Okay. System.out.println, no screen visible. Okay. So yeah, yeah. Coming back to this thing. Okay. So I was asking that what are the recommendation systems you currently use? Thank you, Rakshit. What are the recommendation systems you currently use in your day-to-day life? Can you tell me any recommendation systems which you are currently using in your day-to-day lives? Am I not visible currently? Dhananjay, I am visible, right? My
Yes, you are visible. Yes.
okay, 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 okay. Okay, Guffey is right. Netflix. Anyone else? Not for movie recommendations only, just recommendation system. Amazon, yeah, that's good. Only two products for the recommendation system. Google, do you find recommendations in Google? Yeah, you can find Google recommendations. YouTube, yeah, YouTube is there. Amazon product. Zomato food recommendations, perfect. Something new. Have you heard about Spotify? Hotstar is right. Nice. So we are surrounded by a lot of Insta is also great. So we are surrounded by a lot of recommendation systems around us. So how these recommendation systems are created. So we'll be discussing more about that. First, we'll be seeing that there are two types of main recommendation systems. First is like content based. Second is collaborative filtering. So this is like one of the things which you really want to know about this thing, because these are the two types which you will be seeing a lot on your screen. So first thing which you have most commonly observed is that if you watch a movie and it's like the uh, maybe Hotstar, or maybe if you are purchasing a product on Amazon or anywhere, you are seeing similar kind of product recommendation. That's similar. Try this. Most people have purchased this also with this. Something like this. Advertising systems too, I guess, from YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Those are also recommendation systems, Devanshu. So mostly it is like, mostly we are seeing currently with us the content base, that what are the content which we are consuming. Similar kind of content is recommended to us. Second type of recommendation systems are collaborative filtering recommendation system. These are systems which are worked something like, have you heard about graph data structures? Tell me that thing. Graph data structure. So it is like, if you are connected with so many people, if you have friends and all those kind of guys, so all those guys, what they are watching, what they are streaming, or in a particular area, what is the most common thing which is seen by everyone, it is recommended to you. Have you ever observed, have you ever like uh, get this thing in notice that someone from your house is watching a particular kind of channel which you don't like, which you bilkul bhi you don't like it at all, but yet you get some recommendations of that, maybe on your YouTube or on your Insta, something like that, right? So that is one of the thing that collaborative filtering do, that area wise or maybe your friend circle wise, whatever they are watching or they are consuming, it will be provided to you, something like that. The reels my friends see are often shown to exactly, Krish. So that is collaborative filtering. It is also a recommendation system. It is a very famous, the collaborative filtering. So we'll be seeing how it can be done. Data cleaning is same only. The data set which I have provided to you, in that data set you will be having a rating.csv file. We'll be using that ratings.csv file for our next code. So the first thing, the collaborative system which we are talking about, this is how it works. So we have a multiple number of users. All these users have a user matrix, that what they see, what they like, what they recommend, what they all those things as a user matrix, and what all content is present. Similar basis pe they are classified. This is a horror movie. This is a science fiction movie. This is this. All these genres are separated out, and all the users are separated out, which are nearby you. So when you both when you combine both of the thing in terms of a matrix, there this method is known as a matrix factorization method. This is done via that method, that whatever the common things in both of the genres are, it will be provided to you. The matrix will be there, which will be like recommended you highly. Yeah, recommending me 1970s movie dad watches. Okay, yeah, Devanshu, can you share both data sets? The second data set is shared, I guess. All of you has your second data set, right? I'm not very sure about that. Okay, we'll be seeing this thing. Just one thing. Okay, moving ahead. Second type of data. This is one of the methods of movie recommendation system. The second method is creating handcrafted data sets. What is handcrafted data sets? It's like, you seen on Hotstar, top in India or top in Spotify, India's top 50, Bollywood's top 50, gym playlist top 50. So these are some of the global averages which we are seeing in the data set. It's like the rating which is given by all, liked by all, something, some activities happened on some of the particular content which is there. So this is one of the handcrafted data sets. Second is like, if you are a similar user to someone, like you have an identity of, let's say, XYZ, whoever is here. So I guess Shrishti is here. So let's say Shrishti has an identity of A, B, C, D, E. And let's say anyone else also has an identity of A, B, C, D, E, or maybe A, B, C, D, F, let's say. So they have some things in common. So this data set is arranged in such a manner so that the collaborative ABCD personality will get similar kind of recommendations. We map those things out in that manner. Our code is like that. I'll be sharing the notebook. You will be seeing that in the code how we are doing it. There is one thing known as cosine similarities, how we are matching all these similarities between two or more than two people. Apart from this thing, we have similar movies, like if let's say I like to watch sci-fi movie and Devanshu also like to watch, let's say, horror movies, he has a horror movie type of things. But somewhat, if we get a movie of a genre which have both of the things, a horror, let's say Black Mirror, it is a somewhat horror and somewhat sci-fi kind of a movie, so we both get those recommendations. So similar kind of movie features. Do you know what Black Mirror is? I'm not very sure. It is one of the most popular sci-fi, a bit of horror kind of movie. Have you seen that thing, guys? No responses. So nobody knows what Black Mirror is. Okay. Moving ahead, we'll be dealing with one more modeling thing, which is known as the XG boost. This is a gradient descent. The most common recommendation systems is gradient descent, and we'll be modeling that too. The silence of the lambs, that's great. Can we build hottest mostly asked question in technical? Yeah, that's a very good idea for your like takeaway home assignment. I guess I will replace this thing. You can get the data set. You have to extract the data set, coding fever, for this thing. And it's like, that's the best thing, I guess, you have recommended here. We have a very intelligent audience, I guess. I am a sci-fi and a horror freak. See, I've told you, I am also doing a recommendation kind of work, Devanshu. Netflix series, right? Yeah, Vishnu, we are talking about the Netflix series. The approach of the project is exactly the same: collection, cleaning, somewhat visualization, training testing, model evaluation, model building. So make a form and regulate among seniors. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. That's a nice suggestion for collection of data set. So let's see the code part now. Just hope I will not be blanked out again. So entire screen, allow. Can you see my screen? Not very sure. Dhananjay, can you like switch the screen to the normal screen? I guess the PPT. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You can see my Jupyter notebook. Okay. Free here. Yeah. Okay. So let's back to a movie recommendation system notebook. We have a lot of things here. Let's cover it. Okay. So you will be having the datasets rating.csv. It's very simple. Again, we have to do the exact same thing, that we have to load our data frames, the vectorizations, and we have to just read the CSVs. In this case, you have a UTF-8 CSV, so you will be not finding any errors in this. You don't have to write the encoding part here. And as you will be reading the data, this is the kind of data you will be having. This 4 rows: user ID, movie ID, rating, timestamp. We will not be reading timestamp. We will be only needing these 3 things. That's why we will be only taking this and we'll be dropping the timestamp. So the timestamp will be dropped. What is this axis? This axis where these all columns is written, this is known as axis 1. Someone in the, when I was discussing data frame, someone asked me that if I can have a 3D data frame. I'm not sure who was that guy is, but that's how, when you have a 3D type of data frame or more than 2D type of data frame, these values will get separated out. Then you have to mention the axis clearly, what axis you want to change. That's why you have to mention axis here when you are dropping any column. Okay, I guess that's pretty obvious. Now if you see the data, you can see that we have only 3 things. Now we are splitting the data into test and train data. In this data, we are not using the sklearn module. Yeah, Abhishek, thanks for asking that. I guess I have cleared this thing. So which axis value corresponds to what? Okay, so you can see that if they are only one thing, then it is axis 1. If you have axis 2, this will shift to above and you will have one more line here of columns. So that will be second axis, Devanshu. Okay. So now splitting the data, we are not using the standard sklearn here. We are using normal test and train data. We are doing like 80% of this. And I guess this is wrong. This should be 20%. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. It is 80% only. So we are going from 0 to 80% for the training data and 80% to 100% for the testing data. 80-20 split. Got it. Okay. Nice. The test data shape is like we have only 20,000 values around here and only 3 columns. Which are the 3 columns? User ID, movie, and rating. Okay. Now this main thing, the matrix thing which we have discussed, the so you have to download this thing, pip install surprise. I am audible, right? Can you please confirm me I am audible? Anyone please can confirm me? Can you confirm me? Yes. Okay. Okay. So please be with me, guys. It's like I don't want to spoil your experiences. So this surprise module has one thing known as SVD. You can see the SVD predictions here. It is like a matrix multiplication thing. So this SVD will train your data. You have to load the data from the data set, train your data on these 3 things, and you have to build you can just predict the data using this SVD. Which kind of model is this? Can you tell me? The surprise module, SVD module, which kind of module is this from a PPT side? Is it a handmade? Is it XG booster? Or is it the, one second, is it XG booster or it is the matrix one? Which one it is? I guess I was muted at that point. So SVD is for matrix, the collaborative filtering. You have to just apply this matrix one. So these are basic, like you are seeing these things. The factor, the SVD is directly the model which you will be applying. Yeah, exactly, the matrix one. The SVD is the model you will be applying. You will be giving the factors, like how many factors you want, and then you will train the data set using the fit. Remember this thing, whenever you are training a data set using any machine learning model, the always thing is the training data set will always be fit, and the prediction data set will always be pred. Okay, or pred or test. That's how you will be testing all your data. In SVD you have a fit for training data and you have a test for the predictions. You will be getting the predictions here. Let me see. So these are some things, like for each and every value, for each and every time matrix, how the model is performing. Moving ahead, these are like the predictions, and train is not there, so we have not implemented the evaluation model in this thing. We have used the evaluation model ahead. So the data shape has been dropped down to around 1008. Why data is dropped down to 8? Because we have consumed this data to 80%. Where is our data? Yeah, so this is the test train data, so we have just used the 80% of this thing. And yeah, I'm not very sure about this thing. Okay, I guess something has changed. Mm, okay, let me check this again after this thing. The second one is like, what was the second one? The creating, yeah, the creating the average, like what are the best movies in the world. What is the best movies when you are doing with all the users kind of thing. So we are training a model on that cases. Let me see. No, here it is. Okay, so these above things are just like the space matrix and all those matrix. These are like the for the matrix multiplication only. So the matrix multiplication code is somewhat missing in between. I will sharing you this notebook with complete code for that thing. Moving on to the ratings of the users part. So it is like for the similar movie kind of structure, what we are using the cosine similarity, which I have talked to you about. And what we are giving a user matrix, a user list to it, and also the sparse matrix which is used for the movie. Like we have segregated the movies again separately. From 100 user base we have took around 10 user base, the separation which we did above. So we have separated that all down and we have made that two boxes, and now we are using a cosine similarity to see what are the similar kind of structures in that. So this is a quite lengthy code. I'm not very sure, like I wrote this down with proper comments for you guys, but I'm not sure like how to compress it down so that it is very much digestible to you. So okay, try to read this code and tell me what are the main things which you are not able to get from this code. What are the main doubts from this code, so that I can structure the next words into that time frame. This is the part, like I have not segregated this part. This is the part for the model building part. Here we are building the model, and that's why we are using all these type. What's the basic ideology is, we have cleaned all our data. Now what we want is, we want to train that clean data on some kind of machine learning models. So this is one of the machine learning model where we are using the similarity pattern to give a recommendation. Similarly, this is for the movie similarities, this is for the user similarities. So these are one of the codes. You guys can hear me, right? And this code is like iterating over each and every movie which is there. Dot travel, where it is dot travel. Yeah. Okay. So this is one of the things, the top ratings. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that what are the movie users, what are the main movie users, what are the main movies. These are the two things. I'm separating these two things out in an array first, and then in from that array, what I'm doing is I'm just removing all the unnecessary words. Like if I'm getting a dictionary wrong, if I'm getting only one value of the dictionary, I'm removing that kind of dictionary. User sim line, where it is user sim line, user sim, I'm not very sure user sim line is where, user sim arc sort it is there. Okay. Okay, so what we do is, I'll be sharing this notebook with you guys, and I'll be providing you with my LinkedIn ID. If you have any doubts in this, you can ask me. First line of the model, this one from date time, import date time, it will flatten the matrix. User sim cosine similarity, or this one from date time to date time, which first line? It is a complicated model, it is a bit complicated model, I understand that thing, but the concept is always the same. Clean the data and put your machine learning model. I'll be showing you the best model which we have, so that you can get the feel that how we are doing this. So these are like, I have not mentioned this thing, I'm not sure. I am not able to. Yeah. So this is like evaluation part. So in this evaluation part, we have the RMSE and MAP. RMSE is root mean square error, which is like the basic one, and MAPE is like the most absolute percentage error, maximum absolute percentage error. These are the two main error consuming metrics which we use. This model which I'm showing you, it's the best model, the gradient boosting model, and that's why I'm dropping this to you first. This is very straightforwardly written. The train data, so basically, yeah, 1D. So basically, we are training the data, testing the preparing the test user set using this XGP library, and directly using this model perfectly. And after training the model, we can see the results. The root mean square error is 67%, and MAP is around 20%. So these are some of the what are the root mean square error means. It means that whatever the recommendation given to the user, it is good or not, it is being liked by the user or not liked by the user, in that proportion. So this is in that proportion, I guess. Okay, we are running out of time. i am I apologize, like I have to like pace it through. I'll be like dealing with all your doubts. I'll be sharing a Google form with you guys. You can share your doubts there, and I can address most of them. A common Google form. So coming back to our slides. Can you switch, Ranjit, this to slide mode? Yeah. Okay. So for the assignment part, kindly share the PPT as well. Okay. Okay, I'll be sharing the PPT as well. So one of the assignment is like is told by you only to share the notebook, maybe through G Drive. Yeah, I'll be sharing the notebook via G Drive, and I'll be sharing a Google form also. In that Google form, that will be editable. Whatever the doubts you will be having, just write in that thing. Whenever I'll be getting the time, I'll be answering against those doubts. Okay, will that be fine for all of you? Just try to go through this once. Okay. Yes or no? Just tell me that. So yeah, so one of the guy, I guess coding fever, told us that's one of the best things, that you can make a recommendation system for the hottest asked, mostly asked coding interviews. If you can give that, that's okay. So I'll be giving you the assignment. We have a data set of only positive and negative sentiments in the Twitter data. So you have to take a data set which have a neutral sentiment also. You can find this on Kaggle anywhere with the three data set points, and try to build a recommendations, a sentiment analysis system on that. Okay, the three data points: positive, neutral, and negative. Okay. Secondly, the ML has, as I have discussed, three types of model: analytical, recommendation, and predictive. We have completed analytical and recommendation systems. I want you to focus on a predictive model also. If you can do, there is an optional work for you. You can try to integrate Twitter API and try to fetch real time data for the analysis. These are the three things. Take a screenshot of this thing, please. I'll be sharing this thing, but take a screenshot so that uh, by the time you can start preparing for this thing. Moving ahead, these are some of the resources. One is Andrew NG courses there. Second is like Coding Ninja courses are always there for this thing. And for practice, you can go to Kaggle. Kaggle is one of the best sites for data science. A few words towards the end, I want to say this is like machine learning, data science, and AI is one of the fastest growing areas. Do you know like what is Chat GPT? In the chat, can anyone write what is Chat GPT? Anyone knows about it? Yes or no? What is Chat GPT? Okay, it's viral AF. Yes. So you can see, guys, you if you have observed this thing, previously we have an era where COVID is trending a lot. That there is COVID is there, COVID is there. So we are like 2 years of lockdown we have seen. Then we have this crypto thing which is booming as fast as it can. And now it's the time for AI. Since the inception of the tool like ChatGPT, the industry has completely changed in this domain. The machine learning, the AI, and all those parts. So if any one of you have these doubts in yourself that sir AI आगे सही रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा, I guess ChatGPT gave the answer to all those questions. Those who don't know what is ChatGPT, I highly request you to just go and check it out. This is one of the most revolutionary thing which is happening in the field of data science and machine learning. I really, I really appreciate you guys joining this session and learning so much, and that too in the field which is currently the most trending field on this planet. So that is one of the things. My LinkedIn ID is shared with all of you. This is my mail ID. uh, Anything, anytime you want, you can just contact me. I'll be sharing all the things in a Google Drive properly arranged. And if you feel like if you want to connect and ask anything, you can anytime ask me. It can run any program. To be honest, don't ask me how I know. Okay. That's okay. So any questions do you have from me? I just want to take just 5 more minutes from all of you guys. Any questions do you have? Because companies doing okay, I was very interested to start my career in AI, but I really don't know the starting step, if I should get into AI startup or something else. See, anywhere you get the opportunity, you just go and do the work. Whether it is a startup or whether it is a full-time company, just try to do it just try to do the work. When you get the 1 or 2 years of experience, there will be a lot of opportunities from one of the biggest firms. They are hiring like crazy for AI people. You are seeing that there is a lot of news of layoffs and all. But AI, content, consulting, these some of the fields are there which can really not die because of the popularity they are gaining, the trend. You can see ChatGPT is only one thing. DALI is there. How many products are built on these APIs? Just try to build some products on this API. I really suggest you that if you can freelance this work, it would be very good. So many videos, YouTube videos. Yeah, exactly. So many YouTube videos. It's a trend. Like you saw it in the crypto world when crypto was very famous. You have seen the trend was picking up. Similarly, the AI trend is picking up. Please share CSV file. I'll be sharing everything in the Google Drive. Any more questions, please? 2 more minutes and then we'll be wrapping this up. I hope I have not bored you and I have tried my best to explain you whatever the best I could. Uh, I really apologize that I have to pace the last project a bit up, but I really hope that you have learned something from these 2 to 3 hours which you have invested here. Okay. Thanks, Risti. I'm glad you guys are not bored. Thank you, sir. How we become very good in this AI/ML? Just try to participate in lot of competitions and hackathons. Try to go and do competitions on Kaggle. That's the best practice resource. How will we get the Google Drive link? I'll be sharing it with the Coding Ninjas team, and you'll be getting that. Okay. Any more questions? How will be? I have answered this question, Krishna. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Dhananjay. Over to you. Your voice is not coming. You are on mute.
Okay, okay, okay. I was on mute. I think Archit, the session was really amazing. You have covered all the doubts also, and the two amazing projects you did. That was amazing at all. And I think, guys, we have reached the end of today's session, and I hope you all have learned a lot. I want to thank each and every one of you for the active participation and the enthusiasm you have shown along with Archit. Also, like a special thanks to Archit, who has shared his expertise in the machine learning part for the movie recommendation system and Twitter analysis part. So, yes, once again, everyone, thank you. So, we will meet again tomorrow at 6 p.m. with Shailaja Mishra. He is a software engineer at data science and applied scientist at Microsoft. She will be again doing projects on data science. So, yes, Archit, is there anything means you want to say to the
There
audiences
is
at
one
last?
question, I guess. One question someone asked. In near future, which technology do you think will lead the world? I think that software engineers and those the guys who are in the tech sector, they'll be leading the world, no doubt, no matter anyhow. Whatever the technology is, once you are flexible in one of the technology, it is very easy to learn the other ones also. I hope with that I have answered each and every question. That was the last
All
question left.
all right then. Thank you so much, Archit, for your valuable words. And thank you so much,
Thank you.
guys. Let's meet tomorrow once again at 6 p.m. with Shailaja Mishra. Thank you so much.